regulatory officers and enforcement officers, there is this fear factor that we all have in our industry. These regulations are put upon us, then an enforcement officer comes, we're probably thinking again about how we're going to operate the day, how we're going to serve the customers, are we going to make the food good enough, and then an enforcement officer comes to see us. That can create even more panic and fear, and that's not what we should be trying to achieve. And I think this is where we need a relationship between the officer and the owner stroke manager.
For me, as an operator of quite a few food and beverage places now with restaurants and the pub, it's important that myself and the managers of these establishments get as much information as we can from the EHO to sort of give us all the new regulations when they change, or at least a good warning of health and safety, food hygiene. That way we can make sure that we are putting them things into place. That's the biggest thing for us. That ongoing communication just enables us to know that we're doing the right thing.
The problem we had was we were talking to the banks and we were saying, you know, we've got this amount of money, you know that that's enough to give us a mortgage. We know that there are planning issues, but the council are recommending that we can bash through these problems. So I would like to see the regulations changed a bit, whereby the councils have more authority with the banks.
So when I saw Terry, we walked around, he talked me through things, he was brilliant, and I took a lot of notes. But what would have been really good was if there was a tick box list, so I could have had like a checklist to go through myself. So even though I needed to see him, I felt I needed somebody to talk to me about what I wanted. A tick box list would have helped me to make sure I was doing everything correctly after he'd gone.
I think a one-stop shop would help enormously, because it just allows you to identify everything you need to. There are many different strands of regulation which, for right or wrong, have to be there. But it's making it easy for you as a business owner, operator, someone setting up, when there's a list as long as your arm of things you need to do. You have covered all bases, and then you can concentrate on running and promoting and getting customers through the door.
Building control itself has actually improved and become more personal. I think the planning process has gone backwards in some respects. You're not able to actually just go into a planning department and actually speak to someone. You have to actually fill in forms, pay application fees, and it's become very much less personal, so you can't get the upfront advice as you used to be able to, which needs to slow down the process and the construction industry quite a lot.
I think it's very, very important that it becomes an amicable relationship, not an aggressive sort of old school, headmaster syndrome of you're going to be told off by your enforcement officer. It shouldn't be like that. It should be where we can work together, help each other. We tick the right boxes and we know why we're ticking the right boxes, and we're then moving forward in the same direction.